Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
We begin tonight along the U.S.-Mexico border. This is video from Eagle Pass showing thousands of migrants waiting to be processed by Customs and Border Protection.
Yeah, and from the view, it seems to be an overwhelming amount of people stuck at the border. It comes just months after Eagle Pass saw a different surge of people earlier this fall.
Our Daniela Ibarra is in Eagle Pass this evening near the International Bridge. Daniela, this is not the first time we have seen a wave of people coming. What do things look like tonight?
Myra, it's not the first time, but DPS says this is the largest number of people that they've seen in the past 3 years. And actually, the PIO told me this is the largest he's seen ever. So we have a lot of people waiting back here to be processed by Border Patrol. I'm told that this crowd isn't as big as it was yesterday, but a lot of the people here are waiting. They have blankets on them because it's a little chilly out here. We see some families, we see some people here by themselves. And I'm told that there's a lot of people here, so many in fact, that Border Patrol is actually having to send them to other facilities across the state to be processed.
So, Daniela, Border Patrol says the number of people that crossed into Eagle Pass was over 5,000. That's just yesterday. So how does that compare to any normal day there?
Myra, DPS tells me that that number is actually 5 times more than any other day. They usually see about 1,000 or 2,000 people cross illegally. So it's a big spike. And as for why, I asked DPS and they told me they really don't know. There could be a bunch of different factors, I was told. One of them could be the fact that the water level is lower, so it might be easier to cross because they said that last month it was high and they saw a lot of drownings. And the DPS person I spoke with, they said that they saw people coming over in groups of 20 or 30. So he says it seems a lot easier for people to cross over now.
You know, Daniela, I'm struck by the fact that you're not that far away from that crowd of people down there, and it seems relatively quiet. It seems like there's not a lot of chaos. I mean, how does the crowd size that you're seeing behind you compare to when you were down there in September?
I mean, this is way bigger than what we saw in September. It was a lot louder when we were there, and it was a lot more men that we saw back then. But now, from what I'm looking, and this is as close as we can get right now, but it seems like there's a lot more families. You can't really hear it, but I hear a lot of kids talking, a lot of kids running around and playing. So, I mean, this really isn't as small as it was in September.
Daniela, I know there's thousands of people waiting there, so we may not have an answer to this just yet. But when we say these are people waiting to be processed, do we know if that means these are all folks who are intending to seek asylum here?
Myra, I don't know that. We haven't been able to talk to any of the migrants because this is as close as we can get. But we're going to try to see what answers we can get for you guys.
All right, Daniela, we appreciate it live from Eagle Pass this evening. Now, just one day after Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 4 into law, the ACLU and the President of Mexico are now pushing back against that. The bill allows local and state law enforcement to arrest as well as deport people they suspect crossed into the U.S. illegally. The ACLU and other immigrant rights organizations filing a lawsuit today suing the state and Governor Abbott over SB 4. The lawsuit names Texas DPS Director Steve McCraw and El Paso District Attorney Bill Hicks as defendants here. The group claims the law violates the U.S. Constitution.
It will impact our communities. It will impact our community safety. It will separate families. And that is just a reality that we cannot abide by. The state of Texas cannot impose its own policy preferences.
The Mexican government is also taking steps to challenge this new law. Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador calling the law, quote, inhumane and politics related.
But how will it work on the ground? Today we reached out to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office to see if Senate Bill 4 is going to affect how they are navigating the migrant crisis. Will they be making arrests? BCSO sent us a statement saying in part, quote, we do not anticipate any changes in the way we protect and serve Bexar County. Currently, there are limits on local officers' authority to enforce immigration, as well as rules governing racial profiling, end quote. Senate Bill 4 set to go into effect and become a law in March.
Do you remember the name Joavan Ooa? He was a 4-year-old boy who died in a West Side home in a horrific case of child abuse at the hands of his grandmother.
I remember it well. It happened 20 years ago. But as Erica Hernandez reports today, county leaders took time to remember this young victim and continue demanding change.
We want to remember him and remember his brief life.
His name is one many have not forgotten for the past 20 years. Joavan Ooa died on Christmas Day in 2003. He was 4 years old and weighed only 16 pounds. He had been starved by family members over several months in his grandmother's West Side home. The investigation into his death revealed he had been tied to a bed frame and his mouth was covered with duct tape. Today, county and state leaders joining together to remember Ochoa and his short life.
I feel like we just lost Giovanni yesterday, even though it's been 20 years.
State Representative Liz Campos worked for Senator Carlos Uresti at the time of Ochoa's death, and it had a lasting impact that inspired her to advocate for children.
I feel like Texas has failed these kids, and it needs to stop.
Since Ochoa's death, many more cases of horrific child abuse have occurred, and Representative Campos says missteps have been made at so many levels, starting with the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And at the end of the day, DFP has dropped the ball. The investigators need to be trained. They need to be involved, and if there is a recommendation for a child to be removed, it needs to be removed.
The hope moving forward is that no more kids have to suffer like Giovanni did. Giovanni Ochoa's grandmother, Maria Palacios, was sentenced to life in prison. She is currently still in jail. She is eligible for parole in 2034. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
San Antonio nonprofit recording a huge spike in the number of deaths of unsheltered people in Bexar County this year, with the deaths including people as old as 94, as young as 11 days. SAM Ministries has been tracking homeless deaths in the community for 17 years. This year, they counted 326 deaths, nearly double the previous record last year. Its CEO thinks the spiking stats are due to a combination of them being more aware of the deaths and there simply being more deaths. But whether they're counted or not, it's clear each loss hits hard.
Some people may think that we're monsters or something like that. We're human. We have the same feelings as they do. And we hurt, especially when our loved ones pass away. Even though they might not be our immediate family, but they're still part of our family. And we love them.
SAM Ministries is hosting its annual Homeless Persons Memorial Service this Thursday at 7 o'clock. They'll gather at Milam Park on Commerce Street downtown to read out the names of the people who died.
Tonight, San Antonio police are investigating after a man was shot and killed by his uncle during a dispute. The shooting happened around 7:30 this morning on Laven Drive near Culebra Road. That's on the west side. According to officers, the uncle shot and killed his nephew in the backyard of a home there. After that shooting, SAPD says the uncle called police. He was taken into custody, but no word yet on what charges he might be facing.
San Antonio police are looking for the suspects who shot and robbed a teenage female in the parking lot of a Dennys early this morning. It happened about 3:30 in the 7100 block of Northwest Loop 410 near Culebra. Officers say two teenage girls told their parents they were going to Dennys for breakfast. But police say the pair had plans to meet another girl for a fight. When they showed up at the Dennys, SAPD says 4 people en masse robbed the girls both and shot one of them. The teenager shot expected to recover. No arrests have been made.
San Antonio fire investigators are trying to figure out the cause of a fire that happened at a vacant home on the east side. This fire started around 6 this morning on South Mesquite Street near East Commerce. Firefighters say when they got there, the home was boarded up, but smoke was pouring out the front door. A battalion chief told us the fire started in the back corner of this house. No one was hurt.
Take a live look outside right now and I guess enjoy the nice dry weather, because what did you say it's going to be tomorrow? It's going to start getting...
I call it the morning slop.
Slop. That was...
Yeah, it gets sloppy. You know what I mean? Those mornings that are drizzly, damp, kind of dark, reduced visibility. That's what we're going to see a lot of starting tomorrow, but especially intensifying by Thursday all the way through the weekend. Today, we started the day at 47, made it up to 68 by the afternoon. As we go through the evening, increasing clouds, a southeasterly wind at 5 to 10, and then some fog and mist developing later after midnight all the way through the morning drive tomorrow. But notice temperatures not falling so much because of the blanket of clouds and increasing humidity. Temperatures near 60 degrees at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock 57, midnight at 56. Warmer mornings are going to be a trend, along with that sloppiness and some real showers, but we'll talk about the actual rainfall potential in a few minutes.
Thank you, Adam. From the sloppy to the slow now, let's go to Forney Blanco, where things are definitely slowing down. We've been showing this TransGuide camera a few times today, yesterday, last week. Wonder if it's a coincidence that it's not far from North Star Mall. Maybe. All right, Forney Blanco, things very slow going. Really in just this one direction that we're looking at.
Just a few more days for that shopping. Later on this week, here on the News at 6, Doc Talk. It is our series featuring your medical questions on any subject. Scan this QR code to let us know what you want us to ask local doctors. KSAT 12's Doc Talk airs Thursdays right here at 6:30.
Still ahead on the News at 6, the only city-funded residential facility for unsheltered people dealing with substance use and mental health, down almost 100 beds just before the holidays. We're going to find out why and take you on a tour of the facility next.
This SA Salutes holiday greeting is brought to you by Rodriguez Trial Law.
Hi, I'm Fidel Rodriguez Jr. with Rodriguez Trial Law. We would like to thank all active and ex-military members for your service and sacrifice. Blessed holidays to all.
Crime involving teenagers was up this year. We're going to take a look at what kinds of crimes that we're involved in, but we're also going to talk about how the community can help flip this trend.
The city of San Antonio funds the only residential facility in Bexar County that treats people with both substance use and mental health disorders. But a drop in funding and staffing forcing some major changes.
Yeah, the bed count has dropped there from 140 to just 45 now. Courtney Friedman found out why and takes us through a tour of that facility.
We're festive right now with the holidays.
Positivity, the priority in this place of recovery, despite the huge changes it's gone through in the last year.
We monitor our clients and do our hourly rounds. Here we have our female dormitory area.
This is the Integrated Treatment Program Facility, a residential center for unsheltered people with substance use disorders, mental health needs, or both, which is called co-occurring. It's the only center in Bexar County that treats co-occurring conditions in the same place.
This is our medication room. We secure the medications in a locked area.
For years, the facility has had 140 beds funded by the City of San Antonio's Center for Healthcare Services.
I would say our census was pretty full or close to full. And once COVID occurred, we saw a significant decrease in that.
Program Director Tina Cisneros says safety restrictions and social distancing made it tough to fill or even staff a dorm setting like this. Federal ARPA funding helped with those costs and deficits, but this September, that funding source dried up.
So then that led to the reduction to 45 beds.
And a reduction to 10 staff members manning a 24/7 facility. That's why the city landed on 45 beds, the safe amount for a staff to client ratio, and better focus on recovery.
Our clients get very creative and do a lot of art-focused recovery. So we try to encourage positive affirmations, positive self-talk.
Haven for Hope does intake for the clients who have to meet specific criteria. So right now the facility only has 35 of the 45 beds filled. But Haven is now continuing referrals, slowly increasing that client number as the facility hopes for outside funding.
Recently, we received a donation from Turner Construction in the amount of $5,000, which is very helpful.
A seemingly small amount that goes a long way. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, we could call it gross, I think, as well. Adam calls it sloppy, what we're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah, get ready for these sloppy mornings for several days where it's that overall dampness and wet roads, a little bit of road spray, reduced visibility, but not a lot of good rain to show for it, not much meaningful rain. There will be some, but for all of the sloppiness, not a whole lot to show for it. Let's take a look at our futurecast for the visibility, first of all, because one thing that's going to be changing tonight is the increase in the low clouds and then the development of fog. And that fog is going to be developing overnight tonight after midnight. Probably closer to 2, 3 a.m. it'll start in some places and then be scattered across our area. We'll have these areas of fog throughout the morning, and at times there could be visibilities under 2 miles here and there, but I don't anticipate it to be really, really dense fog, just a little bit of a nuisance out there, but more noticeable by Thursday morning and every morning thereafter as we get a little extra mugginess in the air. Yep, mugginess is going to return. It's going to start to feel a little like spring in terms of the humidity. Right now, dew points, they're down. We're talking right around 50 degrees for dew points across our area. 51 Helotes, 50 Stinson, 49 officially at the airport in town. So comfortable with that lack of humidity. But watch how that changes in the coming days. The wind is out of the southeast. It's coming off the Gulf of Mexico. Tomorrow, still pleasant, dew points in the 50s, but that's higher than today and yesterday. And then by Thursday, Friday, you start to feel the mugginess, and that's especially Friday through the weekend, all the way through Christmas Eve. You'll notice that stickiness and mugginess in the air. And that's going to add to that morning drizzle and fog potential and just that overall dampness. But there will be some rain from this moisture as well. Notice by Christmas Day, we sweep away that humidity because of a weak cold front, more of a wind shift than anything. On Sunday, that's going to sweep away the humidity and give us what's starting to look like a pretty beautiful and comfortable Christmas Day. A lot of clouds across the Lone Star State coming in from the west and southwest. We're watching this swirl west of California right now. That's thrown a lot of rain onshore. And that's going to be heading toward us, not necessarily over us, but toward us. And more than anything, it's going to set us up with this southwesterly flow aloft and even a bit of a subtropical jet stream overhead. And that southwesterly flow, it has a lot of impulses. It has some moisture with it at times, some upper level Pacific moisture. And I do think that's going to help to kickstart some of the showers in the days ahead, not just the morning drizzle, but actual showers. And then this upper system is going to be lingering across the central part of the country here for several days. Actually, a bit of a blocking pattern taking shape. Overall potential rainfall across the state, really Dallas, Waco to Houston and points eastward. Lufkin included there, Texarkana, 2 inches or more around here all the way through Sunday, Christmas Eve. From now through then, maybe up to around a ½ inch. If we could be fortunate enough to see a quick thunderstorm or a brief downpour or two, it could be more than that. But overall, we're looking around a ½ inch during that 5-day span. And notice those rain chances generally between 30 and 40% daily. 20% tomorrow, but Thursday through Sunday, 30 to 40%. So isolated to scattered in nature. Again, dampness, but not a whole lot to show for it. Then I always have to put this caveat here. Morning drizzle chances about 100% for those days. So those damp mornings with the reduced visibility. Right now, 64 degrees, dew point of 49, southeasterly wind at 11. That southeasterly wind slowly increasing the humidity. 53 degrees tomorrow morning, 65 at noon. We'll see a few peaks of sunshine in the afternoon. Southeasterly wind at 5 to 15. Right around 70 for highs. Comfort, Bernie, 67, 72 for the high in Poteet. And notice the temperature trend isn't changing much. Mornings will get warmer, but afternoons, for the most part, right around that 70-degree mark. Christmas Day, partly cloudy, right at 70 with low humidity. Hey, coming up at 6:45, we're talking about where the snow is and who could have a white Christmas.
Ooh, all right. Thank you, Adam.
All right, let's go to Frisco right now live. And Larry Ramirez joins us here in studio. We have been covering it. Mary Rominger has been covering the drama with whether or not Frank Harris is going to play tonight.
Yeah, and Frank Harris is on the field right now with some of his other teammates getting ready. Mary Rominger just went up to Frank moments ago and asked him if he is going to play tonight. Coming up, she is live in Frisco at the bowl game, and she's going to tell you what Frank said. Plus, in the NBA, the Spurs are at the Bucks, and talk about a tough test for the silver and black coming up. The head coaches have met, and now it's almost time to play football at the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl at Toyota Stadium. Jeff Traylor and his UTSA Roadrunners will play Charles Huff and his Marshall Thundering Herd. Both teams last played about 3.5 weeks ago, so you know they are ready to line up and go. But will Frank Harris play tonight? KSAT 12 Sports' Mary Rominger is ready to go, and she's live in Frisco with more. Mary?
Hey, Larry. Yeah, warm-ups have begun, and we expected star quarterback for UTSA Frank Harris to take the field one last time tonight, but as of now, he is unlikely to play. I just spoke with him, and we could pan over to him talking to either his family or some fans, and he said he does not yet have an answer as to whether or not he's going to play, but he's going to update us soon. And right now, it's all smiles from Frank Harris and the rest of the team. He's going by and greeting everyone, saying hi. It's a disappointing development if he does not play, but if he weren't, it sounds like redshirt freshman Owen McCown would be the one to play. Harris is the most accomplished player in the program's 13-year history. The Clemens High School alum owns 38 school records and is 39-13 all-time as a starter for UTSA. As far as how Harris sizes up nationally, he's right there in the top 5 in career starts, yardage output this season, total offense for his career. The list goes on. But where Harris's excellence is really shown is how he overcame so many injuries, including a knee injury last year that almost took him out of the game forever.
I can remember in May, he told me, he's like, oh, there's just no way. And I remember Dr. D being at practice, and he's like, if y'all can just give me one more, he hadn't done a surgery on him yet. He said, if you'll just give me one chance on him, I think I can get that knee right. I said, it's not gonna me. It ain't me. You got to convince. Like, it ain't his dad. You got to convince. It all runs through his mama. I said, so you better get to her if you think you're gonna pull this off. And he performed the surgery, and we got him back about August. I told him if any of y'all ask him about his health, I was gonna tell him, just tell the truth. You ain't been healthy since the 5th grade. You just gonna go out there and do the best you can.
We are less than 2 hours away from UTSA and Marshall taking the field for the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl game. The Roadrunners looking for their first ever bowl win. Marshall is 13-5 all-time, looking to add another. And we don't know what exactly could be keeping Harris out of this football game. But as Traylor just said in that shot, Harris has been battling injuries throughout his entire career. That's nothing new. Earlier this year, it was a toe turf injury that sidelined him. And even with that, he is one of the most accomplished players. He and LSU's Jaden Daniels, the 2023 Heisman winner, are the only 2 FBS QBs with at least 11,000 passing yards and 2,000 rushing yards. Truly remarkable. We still don't know whether or not Harris is going to take the field, though. Larry?
Thank you very much, Mary. Nice job out there with rookie phenom Victor Wembanyama on the sideline tonight because of right ankle soreness. The Spurs will try to win on the road at the Bucks. That's an average of 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 block shots per game sitting on the bench. The Spurs' tall task of knocking off the second-best team in the Eastern Conference will be a bit tougher with Wemby sitting in street clothes. Zach Collins will likely get the start, and here's what he had to say this morning about the Bucks after shoot-around.
Listen, they're a good team. They got their starting 5. Everybody can shoot the ball. So, we want to focus on trying to limit Giannis dominating the paint, and that would probably result in some kick-out threes. So we're going to have to be able to guard both tonight. And for me personally, man, just go in and try to bring energy and be aggressive, try to win the game any way I can.
Here's your matchup. Spurs at Bucks tonight at 7, the start of a 3-game road trip for the Silver and Black.
You remember Loverboy? Remember that band?
I do,
Mike
yeah.
Reno, the lead singer. I think that's what Collins
he
was
can
doing.
fit right in.
Yeah. Everybody's working for the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Our KSAT Q&A with Mayor Ron Nierenberg is up next.